Well, Mikel, I just wonder if the word or the question, what if, is just going round and round in your head. What if that Eza shot had been an inch to the right? What if the Havertz header is a touch lower, or the one-on-ones a touch higher maybe? But is that ultimately it in these big games? The fine margins decide them?
That's exactly that. And when you don't do it and they have the individual quality to deliver the moments that they have delivered, that's the risk to lose again, because I don't think there was any difference between the two teams.
So what do you say to your player? Is that just bad luck, or is it something more?
There are a few elements on that. There is an element of luck that the ball goes in or not. In the second one, the ball gets deflected, it goes to Haaland. There is individual quality as well, and there is in that moment to be so cool, precise, and ruthless, and you have to be that.
So one aspect is the result, and that obviously doesn't feel great. The other aspect is the performance. You wanted to come here and show yourselves, turn up, give a proper account of yourself. Did you do that?
We absolutely did that, as you could see, and especially the way we ended the game, and right from the beginning, the attitude of the team. And we could have been a bit more composed in certain moments, but we certainly took the game to areas that we wanted, and we knew that we had a big chance to win it. We've been very close, not close enough, and now we have to reset. We lost an opportunity today, big one, but there is still another 5 to go, and we need to reset and go again, because it's a lot of positive to take from the game.
Yeah, just tell us about how you tried to go about it today, because it was a very front-footed looking team sheet, lots of creative players on there, and you were very, very aggressive. At one point, as they're trying to play out, Gabriel's come from centre half to I can't remember who to press, but it's an indication of the intent, right?
100%. And with the ball, we had the same one, and we generate the situation that we believe we could generate. There is even one that guy is onside on the halfway line, totally free to go 1v1. So we did that, but we know. So we are in the level that we are in because this team has taken us there. That's the level that you have to be to win it. And today there are certain elements, which is the most important one. When you are in front of goal and big chances like we had today against them, you need to put it away to come away from the Etihad with the 3 points.
As we'd expect from two teams this good, was that an absolutely elite, top-level football match?
Yes, you had moments. Obviously, it was a lot of battle as well and intensity, because you expect that. But there are a big part of the game that had a lot of similarities with the first 28 minutes of the cup final, because we had 2 massive chances as well to go ahead, and we didn't, and that changes the course of the game.
In domestic competition, it's 4 defeats in a row, but is that the best you played in a little while today, would you say?
I don't know. We take it game by game. I think we had some very good moments a few days ago in the Champions League as well against the Sporting. We're playing so many games. We are the only team that is playing and playing and playing and playing. That's a different as well. But the positive thing that we see in the level today, we can go with that. Not only that we can be even better. And there's 5 games to go, and we're going to give a real go to it.
Psychologically, how big a test is it going to be to respond? I mean, the scrutiny and the pressure's been pretty intense on you guys anyway. And you know what the kind of the narrative out of this will be. It's City's to lose now. They're momentum-wise feel in the box seat. How do you counter that within your own dressing room?
But we have full belief that we can do it. I mean, we've been doing it. Today we show again the team that we are. Is in our hands, and is there for the taking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So they don't allow you to go through the process. They're so aggressive. So they are good in the duels, and one of the most competitive teams I ever faced in my career in terms of duels and 1-against-1, long balls with Havertz right, second balls they are fantastic, and didn't make build up. And long balls, second balls, we talk about that, and we have momentums, they have momentums, we have chances, they have chances, and at the end this type of games little margins.
Yeah, I think almost everyone who's been in here for an interview since the game said it was an absolute top level, like elite level football match. Did you have that sense as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So both teams and good, really top managers.
Really good managers.
And top players for both sides. So, but now we start, every 3 days, and yeah, have been so demanding. The trophy is so demanding, but the reality is just one. They are top of the league with 1 goal difference, and you have to enjoy it, celebrate it, take the good things, but don't lose the focus. And focus is in 3 days. Go to Burnley.
You said that Arteta and Arsenal would adjust after the cup final. Can you tell us how they did that? Maybe the different problems they gave you today compared to Wembley?
No. Maybe they play more direct than Wembley.
And it sticks more with Havertz, maybe?
Yeah, but Gyökeres is also strong in the air, and especially the second balls, they are so good, and it's good deliver from Raya. But we know left side Trossard is go inside, they make a 4 players, 1 more players in there, and you know the speed that they have, and especially set pieces. You know when you consider a lot of corners, free kicks, and they are top. At the end, they put 5, 6 strikers there, 4 strikers plus Gabriel, and good delivers for the guys. So sometimes it's difficult to control. We were tired, but yeah, I'm happy because we can extend the hope, we can extend the okay, maybe until the end we will try.
Yeah, I mean, you said beforehand if we lost, it was over. Yeah. Now you've won. How would you see it now? 50-50? Have you got the momentum? I think a lot of people say City are favourites now.
The momentum change. If I tell you the momentum, I say the momentum for Arsenal is bad. When I've seen today playing, I don't have this bad momentum. So they are semi-final Champions League. They didn't lose one single game. The momentum shift in one instant. So they know it. Have a lot of respect of that. Of course, we want to win because we fought a lot as well for many players today. Some players, the first time that played for the Premier League, felt a little bit the pressure. You know, his performance was not top, but that's normal. It's a process.
Yeah, I mean, one of those players is Nico O'Reilly, who seems to make such a difference to the team. With sometimes 2 players occupied with Doku. Him rampaging forward just makes such an impact.
It's incredible, defensively, offensively, in set pieces. What a player has becoming. So playing different positions. So it's exceptional. Nico today has been defensively, offensively, with the pace. We keep the ball and have the composure to take it. Again, arrive in the final third, provoke the second goal, or help to do that. What happened? The goal, the first goal in Stamford Bridge, or the semi-final against them. So yeah, what a season! I don't know, he's the best player of this man of the season, but the young one, guys, has to be delivered. That's for sure.
What would you say about Donnarumma's day? Because obviously he's at fault for the goal. I mean that's clear. But then he reacts, mostly makes an unbelievable save from Havertz, and then plays his part in the second goal as well.
Absolutely. So what I wanted to play, I like a lot. We talk about that, to use him in shift, because otherwise that. But Kusa has to block better. The aggression of the guy. I don't know who scored.
There go, Havertz.
Havertz?
Yeah.
I was aggressive with that. So no doubts about that. But after, what I like the reaction of his mates. They were there to hug him. And that is when we work this season incredibly. So when I see the teams that concede a goal and everybody complaining, everybody for themselves, I don't like. And they were together, and after, they help us, to increase our safe.
Should we finish with a question on the City great that is Bernardo, player of the match today?
Because he's leaving.
Well, voted by Gary Neville. I don't know what his intent was. But just the little bits that he does. There was one chasing back Havertz when it was a one-on-one, a header away where I think he beats Gyökeres in the air. All those little bits on top of his skill, hunger. I mean, you've said it so many times, but it makes him a great player, as he has been for you, right?
If you continue to talk, I will cry. So be careful. Be careful. We'll be so emotional the moment he's going to leave. Yeah. Bernardo is Bernardo. So you cannot define him, As I know he's not. Thank you, Gary, for the man of the match. A good decision. But I had the feeling that he has attributes that's not been seen sometimes with a public figure. A stutter is not fast. It's not as strong. It's not. But football starts from here and finish with the feet. And that guy starts from here. And you have few of them. The teams always will be. It's just grateful. I feel gratitude. What they have done, this guy, for many years.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Of approval, Gary, from Pep Guardiola. Go on then, Bernardo Silva.
I mean, I think we used to think this about David Silva, didn't we, for many years when we came to watch him. It was almost like a privilege to watch him play. And, I think Peter Drury gave a stat that he's played 45 games minimum in every season of his 9 seasons at Manchester City. That's at the highest level. You talk about consistency. He's heading it out of his own box against a 6'2" centre-half 1 minute. He's then back playing one-on-one against a 6'2" centre-forward the next second. He's pressing the highest in the next second. And then he's running the absolute football match. And this is the best football match that we can have in our country at this moment in time. And he's dominated that game in that second half. And he's hugged him at the end. I mean, he's asking him to clap. Honestly, he's absolutely right. That was an unbelievable performance that we saw out there today.
About how versatile he is as well. I mentioned that before, Gary. He's played in a variety of different positions, but he does well in any position that he plays.
Again, Peter said it, he's just always there. Wherever you think that a player should be, he turns up and is there. And look, he's a very different central midfield player than Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira. Those, you think about the sort of giants of the game who grip of big matches. This is being done in a very different way in 2026. He's gripped this football match today, and it was incredible what we saw out there in that second half in particular. And by the way, I think Arsenal pressed on to him in that first half where they had the high energy. I think Ødegaard and Rice really stepped in. The problem was in the second half when they fatigue you sitting, they wear you out, you can't get onto him as much. He just kept going deeper, didn't he? And just trying to draw on, and it became more difficult for them Arsenal players to get close to him.
Another modern legend of Manchester City, isn't he, Bernardo Silva? Might be another one that needs a trophy here around the Etihad Stadium. Let's remind you again of the table, and you're going to see a lot of this, aren't you, in the coming few weeks, because Manchester City are still in second place, and we sort of almost crowned them champions here today, but they've got some work to do.
No, but it's not the fact. It's the fact that coming into this game, could they stay within 3 points? No disrespect to Burnley, expect Man City to go and win at Burnley. Then they become top of the table, and that's what we was all expecting. That's what we was all thinking would happen. And the big sort of chat today, could Arsenal get a draw here? And they couldn't. Man City did it, and they're doing it. Well, so why would everyone rip them off?
A reminder, if they win at Burnley, which you would expect them to do, which you do expect them to do, they will go top on goal difference. Then Arsenal play twice against Newcastle and Fulham. Could go 6 clear again before City go to Everton, who've made life pretty difficult for Liverpool today, albeit lost, and Brentford, who'll be chasing European football themselves. So it's going to be a little bit nip and tuck, isn't it, in these finals?
Yeah, but Arsenal, from their camp, will believe that City are going to win every game. That has to be their mindset. And obviously it'll be the same for them. I think you can't be looking at other teams to try and do you a favour. And that's why it was in Arsenal hands a little bit today to come here and try and get a result. And a good result, obviously, would have been a draw. So that's the frustration. But Arsenal will now be sitting in that dressing room believing Man City. And one of the biggest words in sport is momentum. And City have it at the moment. And Arsenal have lost it.
Unbeaten in 13 as well.
Dave, I'm not sure that Pep Guardiola thought in November, December that he had a team capable of winning the league this year. Kusanov hadn't emerged, Gay wasn't in the club, Semenyo wasn't in the club, Nico O'Reilly wasn't at the level. All of a sudden, these 4 or 5 players, Cherki, O'Reilly, Kusanov, Gay, Nico O'Reilly, have just stepped up a massive level in the last 4 to 6 weeks. And you thought, how is Pep Guardiola going to build this sort of third championship winning team? They've gone from being a vulnerable, immature back four to being one now that looks like it can play together in sort of big games. So these 5 players have sort of will be stepped up at a level that probably we didn't think they were capable of in this season. I'm not sure even Pep Guardiola thought he would be in this position.
He kept saying, didn't he, we'll be a great team next season.
Yeah, I think this is ahead of where they thought they might be, and I think where we all thought they might be.
No, but that's down on Arsenal opening the door for them. We can talk about Man City. The reason why I said it would come to this game is because it was dependent on what Arsenal did. And Arsenal, in this running, they had the chance to put games to bed, and they haven't done. And now they've sort of brought that pressure on themselves.
We should perhaps also remember that City's best winning run over the course of this season and last is 6 matches. So they're up to 2 already by virtue of beating Chelsea and Arsenal here today. But to win the league, they might have to go on a winning run for the rest of the season. Does there come a point, Patrick, where in this position you are starting to think about goal difference?
Yeah, of course you will start to think about it. It's only 5 games remaining. And just to disagree a little bit with Gary, I don't believe that a manager like Pep in December will say, OK, if we qualify for the Champions League, I will be happy with it. I don't think that is a profile on the type of manager. I think he will challenge. And he is where he was maybe hoping the teams to be. I think he brings some quality players in December, and players are growing up and build this kind of belief and confidence. And in the back of his head, he's where he wanted to be. And they will be there at the end of the season. They winning the games today, give them that belief, that momentum. And I think now it will be Arsenal who will have to chase them, because I don't see in them dropping points.
Yeah, but they would have got a lift. Obviously, Mike is saying there, but you then get a lift from Arsenal slipping up. That keeps your spirits up. Because even last week, the Bournemouth game, the day before Arsenal went to the Chelsea game, when these results are coming through, we've all been there, a good or positive result or a negative result comes in, and they can give you a lift. You go, I tell you what, maybe they are getting nervous, and they're at our place next week. That would give you a lift. So they've had encouragement, but of course they made the most of it. It's well and good getting an opportunity, but they took it. Obviously, going to Chelsea last week, winning today in a tight game, even though they gave up a few chances. And that's where I go back to that. That momentum is certainly in the City dressing room now.
But we can't have a playoff, but we could have this title going down to goal difference if they all win their remaining games. Mikey, you've experienced this very famously before.
Yeah, Mancini always said, score. I remember we come in half-time, one game, but look at these games, West Brom, Norwich, Wolves, United, I'm looking at the United game, and that's when Vincent Kompany scored that header, and that's when we thought the momentum, no disrespect to West Brom, Norwich and Wolves, we all thought we could win then. It was like, get over the line against Man United.
For a little bit of added context, you trailed Manchester United on goal difference by 2 going into this, and then won the Premier League by a goal difference superior of 8. So in those games against West Brom and Norwich, were you consciously chasing the goal?
Constantly chasing. Mancini said we need to score more and more goals, especially against that Norwich side, who at the time we thought we could expose them, Wolves away, but then it was just, could you get over the line? And we talk about momentum. Man United was that game for us. Win that game and you get over the line. And the Newcastle away was really, really tough. Remember, Yaya stepped up massively in that game, and then the last game of the season, it could have gone anyway, but it's just Mancini constantly saying, score more goals, because that could be the difference at the end. And it was.
Drink it in. Could you actually see a situation feasibly where they do both win all the way through to the end of the season?
No, I don't think both teams will win every game. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal will win 5 games and City win 5 games and Arsenal win it on goal. I think City are going to have to drop points somewhere, in my mind. I'm not quite sure where that is. I do think they've got a massive, massive advantage now.
Which games would you see Arsenal not winning now?
On paper, you'd say the Everton game, just because it can be a tough game for
No, where do you see Arsenal dropping points?
Oh, so I think next Saturday night's got a lot of danger, because, look, Arsenal, I think, have played well here today. They couldn't come here today and freeze, and they couldn't come here with a glass half empty approach, and they haven't done. They played really well, I think, in the game.
They're on an awful run.
They are, but I just think the nerves inside that stadium, if Arsenal don't start well next Saturday night, or if Newcastle get a goal, next Saturday night is imperative Arsenal have to get over the line in this game.
Do you think there's more pressure going into that game than there would have been had they been leading? You know how tense it's been there all season.
I know, and I think that tension will still be there next Saturday night a little bit, and I think Arsenal have to cope with that next Saturday and come through it.
But that's part of the challenge, the tension. You know, I think the City players would have had tension today. They're at home. The manager said if they don't win today, the league's over. So that's the challenge for these Arsenal players, going back to the last few seasons, playing under pressure. That's what the game's about. And City have been the best team in this country by far for the last 6, 7, 8 years, playing under pressure. Imagine the pressure that City players run today in front of their own fans. But they turned up. And you get the plaudits, and Gary said there, I think it's no good getting plaudits when you get beaten. It's absolutely no good.
No, but you can take positives, can't you?
No,
we all
we're losing today.
We can a little bit.
They're Arsenal Football Club. It's not a small club.
No,
it's a big club.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying how we thought Arsenal would set up today.
I thought Arsenal would do all right today.
They would go in a low block. That's what we've seen. If you look at Arsenal's last 5 games, they've not been playing well. In some games, they've been getting over the line. In some games, not. Today, they showed when they press and when they're aggressive, they're a better team.
And surely you have to spin that, don't you, Roy, to your team?
Well, you're not surprised Arsenal came and done well here today. It's not good getting on the bus or the train.
It's not that,
we should do that.
It's a mentality.
Do you want the plaudits or the points? What do you want?
Of course you want the points, and we said that earlier on. But we're talking about a team taking positives going into the next game.
What will it take?
And they played a lot better.
Right.
Well, did you expect Arsenal to play as good as this in terms of offensive?
Yeah, I did. Of course I did. They're top of the table. They're a good team. They're no mugs.
I think Arteta at the end in his dressing room, he'll be saying, I'm proud of you. Play at that standard for the rest of the season and we'll win games.
I'm proud of you. Gary.
Micah, to be fair, in my experience, this is a movable object on this point.
I think I've got him next to me.
hold on. I'm proud of you. Really?
No, my point is, I think he'll say, I'm proud of the way you played, and I think he'll say that if we play at that standard for the rest of the season, we'll win all 5 games.
I'm proud of the goal we gave away. That's the winning goal. That's a defining moment.
I think
it's in the goalkeeper's one hand, and 10 seconds later, it's in our goal. That's something to be proud of.
I don't think he'll say they were perfect in every moment in the game, but I think he'll say.
And City weren't perfect, but City won the game.
I know.
Before we move it on to Arsenal, do you think that Pep Guardiola gives Manchester City an advantage in this race?
Of course, a huge advantage. He's been there, he's done it, and he knows what it takes to win. And obviously, this experience, the way he communicates with the players and the way he's conducting himself, the message that he's sending around, even to the press, I think he's pause when he's around. And of course, the confidence and the belief that he's gives to the players to go there and to perform the way they did today. And I think it's everything surrounding the team and the football club. I think there is a huge foundation that has been built in this football club, and I think that allowed them to manage those kind of games, those kind of situations.
I agree with Patrick, because they had the chances. You know, the manager, when he reflects on the game, you know, we analyse the game till the cows come home. But if you said before the game you're going to get these type of chances, you got to take them. And some of their big players didn't take them, and obviously that would be the difference in tight games. And remember, a few teams over here have come here the last few months where I know City are doing really well at the moment, but Forest have nicked the result, Chelsea and Brighton. So it was... Arsenal certainly had the capabilities to come and get a result today, and they had the chances, they created huge chances, and that will define your seasons, particularly in the tight games, particularly against your biggest rivals. Come the end of the season, that points total will make a big difference, of course.
We will have a closer look at those chances, of course, and I think it's worth exploring what Patrick was talking about there as well, that mental side of the game, which has seen Arsenal now lose 4 of their last 6 compared to 3 of their first 49 in all competitions this season. But let's get a flavour of the mood in the Arsenal dressing room. Martin Ødegaard now with Patrick Davison.
Martin, firstly, if we can ask about the result and the feeling you have right now when you've given so much to such a big game. How low are you in this instant?
Yeah, no, disappointed not to win. Obviously, we wanted to come here and get a result, and I thought we were really up for it today. We played a good game. I thought we pressed them really well. We had some really good moments there on the high press, and then especially second half, we looked a lot more dangerous. You know, had a few big moments there in front of goal. So, yeah, small margins, you know, to decide a game like this, and yeah, we weren't sharp enough in front of the goals, and. Yeah, that's why we go home with nothing, so disappointed. Yeah,
is that almost the overriding feeling from it? Inches, centimetres between victory and defeat?
Yeah, for sure. That's football at this level, especially 2 teams like today, you know, going head-to-head like this. It was always going to be like that, very intense, very tough, and as I said, small margins. So, yeah, it's frustrating, but... There was a lot of good things in the game. I thought from us we did some really good things, and now it's just about looking forward to the next game, bounce back and keep going and keep pushing all the way to the end.
How brave, how front-footed did you try to be in your game plan today, particularly with the way you pressed them and obviously that created the goal you did score?
Yeah, no, I thought the high press was really good. Felt like we was going to regain the ball and look dangerous there, and then obviously they have qualities, so sometimes you're going to end up deep, and that's the struggle against this team, but I thought we did really well, apart from the goals, and then maybe lacked a bit of composure on the ball a few times, but I thought second half we did better and created those big moments, so yeah, overall a decent performance and small margins, but yeah, we just got to learn from that and move on to next now.
When did you know you were going to be able to play, and how physically did you feel, and actually do you feel stood here now in terms of, because the team is going to need you for what's ahead?
Yeah, no, it was a tight call, but yeah, I felt okay in the game. You know, I was a bit tired in the end, but it was good to be back, and yeah, hopefully I can keep being with the team now until the end.
Even though the team's given a good performance today, you know the noise that will follow this. It will feel certainly that the talk will be that the momentum's with City, that Arsenal could have been 9, 12 points clear on Wednesday. They could go top. Is there a big kind of psychological barrage you're going to have to deal with now?
There's always that in football. There's always pressure, always noise, and that's a part of being a football player at this level, so that's completely normal to us. And we're just going to keep going, stay focused on ourselves like we've done the whole season, and as I said, just look forward to the next game now and bounce back, get a win there, and move on. That's all we're going to do, you know. So that's a part of football, and you have to live with that. And yeah, that's a good thing, I'd say.
Still believe?
Of course. Yeah.
Thank you. Well.
And this was what Declan Rice thought at full time. It's not done. Talking to his teammates. Ødegaard himself, in fact. And that has to be the view, doesn't it? Do you have to be... and they go again. They've got a week to think about this before they take on Newcastle at home next Saturday. Do you, though, in some ways, Roy, have to be careful how you reflect on a performance and a defeat like that?
Dead right. I think you have to be critical of yourselves as Arsenal players. You've got to be careful now. I have Ødegaard get interviewed a few times, and he's even there afterwards saying, yeah, we played with... You know, they've lost the game. And the goals, early in the season, they weren't conceding many goals, they weren't giving up many chances. Now, 2 goals today, 2 goals last week, 2 goals in the cup game with Southampton. They have to be critical of themselves. And I've questioned this group of players about that mentality, getting a grip of each other. I'd want somebody after the game to be really critical, because when they will analyse the second goal, the winning goal, they were all over the place. I think from the goalkeeper to the goal, I'm going to have a guess, was it 10, 11 seconds? Far too easy. So they can sit there, they can speak after the game, and they had the chances, but the winning goal, these are crucial moments. And if you're trying to get your hands on the trophies, these moments are key. We're praising Silva for running back and winning headers against strikers who are 6'4", and we're seeing Man City getting a winning goal. And I guarantee Arteta and his staff and his defensive staff particularly will be going, you'll never win it with title giving up goals like that. Whereas you had that hunger, the desire. We talk about mentality in sport, but mentality is decision-making. We see Martinelli making 1 or 2 rash decisions, almost giving Man City the option to throw it between the lines. And when we see the goal, it's... Again, the way I look at it, if you give a goal away like that in training, the manager would stop training and go, lads, are you focused? Are you concentrating? And that moment there, or not making a tackle or Haaland getting the goal at the end, obviously that could be the difference between winning the league and losing it. And so they've got to be self-critical and not come out after the game or the next few days when their PR teams are on going, yeah, we played well, we had chances, and we'll give them a little bit of praise for the chances.
Which they did, yeah.
Yeah, which they did, but we have to be then really critical of the winning goal, because that is the defining moment.
Which we will come to. But could the mentality actually shift now for Arsenal? Because they've been leading all this time, and certainly in the last few weeks, they've felt City's breath on their neck. It feels like that chase could see City go top on Wednesday night. If they go and win in Burnley, they will be. Now, could that shift the mentality for Arsenal, that they have to respond? They've got 2 games back-to-back before City play again after that.
They have to respond. And you're expecting top players to respond when they have their back against the wall. But Ødegaard, I believe that in his interview just now, just said everything right, you know. But I think I agree with Roy. It's important for players to take responsibility as well, because I think today they quite played a good game. But there were a lack of togetherness on the side where we have to be really demanding to each other. They're creating enough chances to at least not losing that game. And I think that what they are missing can have an impact in the game on the result. And it will be important for them to not accepting easily that lost, because they shouldn't lose the game today with the way that they perform, because I think Mikel team selection was right. We was questioning Ødegaard and Eze on the field together. But when you analyze the game, I think they had a good game of football. But going back to London with 0 points, I think it became a player's responsibility.
Patrick agrees with Roy. First time for everything. Let's see how that develops over the next hour. They were talked before the game about those people who could just come up with that moment of magic in a game like this. Of course, Ryan Cherky was at the forefront of our thought. Could he actually be the difference in this title race, in these tight moments, Mike?
I think he can. I mean, if you look at his feet and his technique, it's absolutely outstanding. But like I said before the game, he takes risks and he believes in his ability. He's always looking for that little pocket of space, but when he gets in there, he knows exactly what he's going to do. It might be unpredictable to us, but the way he dresses up, Gabriel doesn't come out, so he knows he's got the momentum, and it's just about his feet, and that is a wonderful goal because he believes in his ability.
Eze has to compete there, doesn't he?
That's he's got to do better there, for sure. But talking about the goal there, his feet are so quick, the way he changes direction, left foot, right foot, outstanding. And he's keeping Foden out of the team at the moment because of moments like this.
First Premier League player to double figures in goals and assists in all competitions, and this is his first season as well, Patrick. But there were questions over him, did you think, when he actually came to the Premier League?
No, there was question in him in France, not about his talent, about him performing at a high level, because he's a terrific player. His ability is unbelievable. And I think he chose the right place and working with the right manager, because he needed to have somebody to be really demanding on him. And leaving Lyon, coming to Manchester City, where he grew up, I think he's taking a lot of responsibility. And he do understand that he needs to be decisive. He needs to score goals. He needs to make assists. And since he's been at City, he's completely a different player. And this goal really reflects his talent, because when he gets inside the box, he knows that nobody can touch him. And his ability to go left and right, it's something, that's his talent, a pure talent.
We played at a decent level. When I see players doing that at that speed, it's amazing to watch, isn't it?
It's amazing.
I scratch my head going, how did I do it at such speed? And then at the end of it, going through it, and then having the ability to stick it in the corner. Well, what a talent.
But Arsenal got straight back into it, and it was another City signing, Donnarumma, that was actually at fault here. But do you think there was a deliberate ploy, Roy? Because straight from the kick-off, they went back and decided to go long and try and put City under a bit of pressure.
Of course, we see teams doing that a lot now, but I'd be irritated about a Man City player. I think they should just head it clear there, because they must know what they're trying to do. They press him in. But credit to Havertz here, he reads it quickly. The goalkeeper's far too slow. He's on his heels, and credit to the Havertz for closing him down, and they got his just rewards. But even there, she just do a first time. He must know the pressure, and again, he takes that first touch. His body shape's all wrong. Well, not all wrong, but obviously he knows he's not going to get that much time, and Havertz can't add a little bit of luck, then with deflection going in. And then you're thinking, whoa, momentum was back with Arsenal at that moment in time. But a huge mistake from an experienced goalkeeper. He's got to do better, because it could have proved really costly.
And really, that left the game on a knife edge at 1-1. But then big chances for Arsenal that we've mentioned already, Patrick. And is it these moments that could really come back to haunt them?
Away to City, when you create chances, clear chances like that, you have to take them. And obviously, it was a really good defensive setup from Arsenal, and the offensive transition was quite really good. A really good ball here from Odegaard, and you expect Havertz to score. That is a moment, important moment in the game where he has to do better.
Does he do anything wrong, or do we credit the goalkeeper, actually?
Yeah, it's amazing save there. I mean, we've seen Donnarumma on the ball, but, I mean, off the ball, he's just outstanding, and that's why Man City bought him in. And then there was the Eze checks, Patrick.
Yes, Eze, that is, I like to have him centrally, because he's got a really good talent. A good touch, one touch, facing the goal, and take it straight away with the left-footed. And
do you think then it was a great effort? And do you think it was the wrong selection to have him on that left-hand side where he spent so much of the game?
No, because he didn't stay really on the left-hand side. He come inside and created the overload. And that was, I think, the tactical plan. It was quite really interesting, because he touched the ball quite a lot. I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest, that he came off, because I think he was getting into the game, and he could create chances of scoring goals, because he's got that quality. And taking him off, I think I was disappointed to see him off.
Yeah, and obviously the criticism of Arsenal over the last few months is that maybe lack of creativity. There was plenty of it today, but the hardest part of football, as we said, putting the ball in the back of the net.
And we saw that crucial double save from Donnarumma from Havertz, and then the follow-up from Martinelli. But then he's involved in what could be the crucial goal in this title race. Now, is this all about his quick thinking, Roy, or does Nico O'Reilly make the decision for him, or do you blame Arsenal?
No, I think Martinelli helps the goalkeeper his decision by pressing too early. They're not really set, and they don't need to go chasing the game. And this is where your mentality and decision making and experienced players. But after this, obviously they're on the back foot. We know City the capabilities, and Haaland's had a battle all day. No surprise any official with one touch. But just to be, if you stop it here, it's just definitely, I'd be putting this more on Arsenal. Credit to O'Reilly, he's an attack-minded player. We see his form's outstanding, and defensively he's brilliant today. But Martinelli doesn't have to press there. He doesn't have to press. And if anything, it encourages the goalkeeper to throw it out. Do you agree?
I completely agree with you. I think when you're looking at, even when Donnarumma get the ball in his hand, he was a huge space between the Arsenal back four and the front players. There's a huge space that Arsenal wasn't set and wasn't ready to go to put pressure.
And a real old wrestle, wasn't it, at the back post? Great footwork as well from O'Reilly, Mikey.
Yeah, I mean, he was outstanding again. I mean, he just gets that movement. Haaland stretches. Such a wonderful finish. I mean, I think the defenders got the best of him in the first half, but second half, he really shone.
Mike, I think we can have another.
Yeah. So I just want to stop it when it comes here. And the thing is with Arsenal have been really good in a low block. Today they opted to go really high, and they pressed really aggressive. But when the goalkeeper gets the ball here, it's not on to press because it's too late. Now you then have to realise to get back in shape. O'Reilly makes that run. So now you're in between the lines, and that is, we talk about moments within football, and that could be on the manager. Yes, they might have been told to press, but it's on the players to realise when they can press and when they can't. If he would have held then, Arsenal would have been able to get in that low block and then force it wide and maybe got the ball out. But just those decisions
should players
could
be
be
speaking
key.
to him. Maybe some of the players behind him should be tempted to get back in, because your priority there, you're not going to win it there and then. You smell it in a game, and I don't think he needs to go there. And that's where you need your better players or leaders to pull him back in. And they got punished for it.
Yeah, it's a brilliant moment, isn't it, for City? And you just always wonder if it's going to be Haaland who has that final decisive touch in a game like this.
Yeah, well, there's no surprise, obviously. But again, what we praised Haaland today was for, listen, we know he's an amazing goal scorer, but his battling, he was an outlet for his teammates, and that's what you need. That's where we go back Silva. You got to do the hard yards.
Welcome.
Yeah, you got to do the hard yards. The City players, and they always do.
Just checking the time. We've got another 45 minutes of conversation. We've got to 2-1, Gary, but still there were major moments, weren't there, for Arsenal to try and get a foothold in this game. First of all, through the set piece, Gabriel.
Yeah. I mean, this was the one that I think Nico O'Reilly's a little bit lucky here because he has his arm up in the air, and if Gabriel heads it against his arm, it's definitely a penalty. But again, a second bit of good fortune for Manchester City that the deflection off Nico O'Reilly it beats Donnarumma, but it just hits the post, and Eze hits the post, Gabriel hits the post, then that Havertz chance late on was gilt-edged.
Well, let's have a look at that in just a moment. Having said that, Gary, do you think Havertz justified his selection today?
Yeah. I thought he did well. I thought he played the target role of Gyökeres, but also was more agile and he linked play.
This is the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What a great ball in. He sees it all the way. He's just, again, there's enough pace in it. He has just got to hit the target. He's more than capable of doing that. The timing, great ball in. Wow. Yeah, that was it. That was the moment. Look, middle of the goals. Anywhere, either side of the goalkeeper.
He gets up so well, Patrick, as well, doesn't he?
His timing was perfect. You have the quality of the cross, quite really hard ones, and his timing, jumping, he was really close to score, but unfortunately for him and for Arsenal, he missed that chance.
They thought that was their moment,
They
Mike.
thought it was. But it's not over yet. They've still got 5 games to go. I mean, everyone's going on like it's the end. I believe Man City will win because of the momentum, like we've said. But for Arsenal, there's still 5 games left. Go and prove to everyone why you can win it.
And wasn't it interesting, this battle that we saw between Haaland and Gabriel, and the way that he spoke about it afterwards? He seemed to really relish it, and we've kind of had the same thoughts from Gabriel, even in the build-up to this game. But did it actually go very close to going over the edge? I'm asking 2 experts here.
No, listen, I think I really enjoyed that battle. I think in the last couple of years, those 2 players been really to each other. But the referee managed the situation really well. They were competitive, they were really difficult, but it's the kind of games that we want to see, that I enjoy watching.
And it was give and take. They were both giving it and taking it. That's what you want to see. Even with the head situation, again, Haaland could have easily gone down there. He done. We saw Walker doing it a few years ago. I think it was against United. But we like.
Does Haaland save him there, though?
Yeah, he does. But you also want players to help other professionals. You don't want to be running around trying to get people sent off. That's the referee's decision. But I like what he's done there. I thought, you know what? Yeah, he stuck his head on me, but we'll get on with it.
What's your take on this, Gary? Because Vieira said not excessive force, but if he does get a red card in that situation, Gabriel I'm talking about, it would be a 3-match ban for violent conduct, which could be a huge blow for Arsenal in these finals.
If Gabriel had scored later on or had some sort of impact on the game, I think Pep Guardiola would have been absolutely fuming. I think it's pretty accepting in football. You're allowed to put your head against each other, but the minute that one of you does that, it's usually a red. But I mean, I was happy he didn't send him off.
Yeah, but you don't want, obviously, Haaland, you don't want players then rolling around either. You know, it's still up to the referee's decision to make it does he think it's a red card. But I'm glad other pros are helping each other out. We don't want all that carry on rolling around.
It probably is a red, but common sense. I think the referee used common sense, so you've got to give him praise for that. I mean, if he does get a free match ban, it wouldn't have been great. But I don't want to give red cards for that. I was just more interested in seeing the battle, like you've just said. The battle. I mean, you're talking about potentially red. You two back in the day.
He doesn't. I don't think he deserves a red card. There's nothing really aggressive on the side of.
Saying that, we see people getting sent off for grabbing someone's hair, so there'll be arguments to that. That's more violent than that.
I got sent off for that against
pushing your head.
Yeah, against Steve McManaman in a Manchester derby like 20 odd years. You played in the game, did you, Roy? It's exactly the same thing. I just leant my head forward and.
But your head is bigger, isn't it? More dangerous.
Did it cost you?
Weight behind it.
Did the suspension cost you as well?
No, we won every game when he was suspended.
Coming from these
never missed him.
Well, as I said, they are the experts in this confrontation. Right, Gary.
To be honest, you couldn't take your eyes off it. At any moment, someone was going to score out of nothing, and I thought O'Reilly was the best player on the pitch. Quite magnificent in the way he takes the game, even the goal that they score. Look at that for a save from Donnarumma.
These are the fine margins, Martin, aren't they?
It was a bit like the Kepa situation in the League Cup final, and it was on Donnarumma, and then he gives away, but then he makes up for it with these saves. Hit the post again there. Gabriel, not a good idea giving him that kind of space, and Arsenal just kept taking the game. And I mean, what a ball this is from Trossard, and you think Havertz has done everything right. He's got up early, and he just has to hit the target there. He won't sleep at night tonight after that one.
Yeah, no wonder Mikel Arteta's diving on the ground. That's a huge chance. Huge chance. Sometimes I watch a chance, and we all find different chances easier than others. Some people have a stock finish and whatever. But I would have thought that Havertz there, he couldn't ask for a better ball. He couldn't ask to be in a better position. That is a massive chance. You would have fancied that one.
Yeah, for sure, because I'm quite good in the end, and the way the ball is coming with full power,
pace,
and I'm pretty sure he actually tried to redirect the ball, but the speed that the ball come towards you, you have to give the speed back. And you see, when you try to direct the ball, you can't get it right. So I think you should rather smash. When you enter the ball and smash the ball, you give the ball more power, then you can actually direct the ball.
When you're younger and you're heading the ball, every coach I ever played under always said, head the ball down. Head the ball down when you're trying. And that's the reason why. Of course, listen, if the goalkeeper saves it with his feet, then okay, but you always have to try to head the ball down. If he did, I think we'd be having a different conversation at the moment.
And as you say, they are the fine margins. And you're talking about the body language, but they will be hurting. And as we've said, if City win at Burnley on Wednesday, suddenly Arsenal aren't top of the league. I mean, how psychologically damaging could this be today?
You could argue that will switch. That could switch to City. I didn't think they were handling the pressure today as well as I thought they would have. That really shocked me in this stadium today. You had Donnarumma looking like it was the Arsenal goalie in the League Cup final. We had a different situation. The mood swung here. And so, if they, they can win a treble now, City. Suddenly they can win both cups and they can win the Premier League. Does that present pressure? You feel not, because Pep's in the building and he'll guide them through. But it's still a younger bunch, isn't it? Yeah. Stars are emerging. I thought O'Reilly was magnificent. So there'll be new runners and riders in this Pep story. But it's still new for some of these. I mean, how will they react? They reacted well today, in fairness. But it's not over yet, Steve. And every man and his dog in the world seems to you feel it in the stadium against Arsenal. And I just feel that there's a resolve. And I was proud of their performance, because it's not easy. This is a top-class outfit here, City. It's a dynasty of trophies. Four of them they've won. We talked before the game. It's a good job Arsenal are around to try and stop it, because otherwise I think they'd just snowball the whole Premier League. They're so much better than everybody else right now. But Arsenal today gave a good account of themselves.
Adi, today, I mean, I mentioned it was one of the best atmospheres I've heard here today. The City supporters played their part. You talk about emotion. They drove City forward, didn't they, at times?
That's quite important because knowing, I think we are footballers, right? Whenever we play in front of our fans, in front of our family, it's a whole different game together. And City fans were, after Arsenal goal, they tried to push their team, especially in the second half before the kickoff. They were singing, they were shouting, trying to motivate their players to be more able to have more capacity, and that's what they have done. And I think, as we said, and I said a couple of months back, that Arsenal coming to City at Etihad is going to be very, very difficult, and they make life difficult for them. We saw in the last 7 minutes, the extra time, it's not Man City playing anymore, it's the fans. Because even though if you are tired of running, they give you that extra mile, they give you that extra motivation to do the job for the team, and that's what they have all done well. I think this victory is not for only the players, it's for the whole club.
Yeah, as we've mentioned many times, and some of the titles that Martin's talking about there, yes, they've come from behind, but they haven't come from nowhere, in a sense, like this season, have they? If they get close and go top on Wednesday, this is new territory, even for City standards.
It is. They've been really out of sorts, or inconsistent is probably a fairer word, throughout the season. But they kick into gear, don't they, when it matters? I mean, I really didn't think at any point during the season they were going to win the league this season. Obviously, Arsenal have been very, very dominant before the season. Liverpool were the reigning champions and had added to their squad. I thought this was a transitional season for City. But the longer it's gone on, the better they've got. And this factor as well, in April, Pep Guardiola, he wins games consistently in April. And on the flip side of it, Mikel Arteta's record in April is pretty poor. So that momentum, they've won some big games in recent weeks. What a time to hit form. What a time. And now they must look at all the remaining fixtures and think, wow, well, if we can beat Chelsea, we can beat Arsenal twice, if we can beat all these top teams, then nothing's going to stop us now.
Yeah, let's have a look at them, Martin, because Arsenal still on paper have a favourable run-in here with these fixtures, and even Pep Guardiola on Friday was mentioning some of the games that City have got to play, including going to Everton and going to Bournemouth and Aston Villa and indeed Brentford coming here.
Exactly. I mean, there's no easy fixtures, there's no doubt about it. You get that mindset, you kind of like you're in a tunnel, and you do what's necessary to get the results, and that's what both teams will now enter into. And it will be the same against Burnley. You know, they'll be buzzing. Newcastle without a win now. They lost the last 4. A great time for them to turn it round. Pep will be desperate for that to happen. So you can't worry about the other fixtures. You've got to go and do your job, get your 3 points on the board, and then pass that pressure over to the other team. So, you know, we've got a hell of a few weeks ahead of us.
We have. If you were actually, I think Bernardo Silva's coming to join us, the Manchester City skipper, very, very soon. But if you were in the Arsenal, he's coming in. Come on, Bernardo. Sorry. You're far more important than a question to Martin Keown. I didn't mean that. Well played, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
No, congratulations.
The Manchester City captain live here on Premier League Live. I mean, well, that was fantastic to watch. What was that like to play in, and how good was that feeling at full time?
Well, a big game, a tough game, because Arsenal are a top side. I think we started really well with our people, with the atmosphere. We scored a goal, then a silly mistake that changed a bit the mood. And then the second half, even though we were always in possession, it felt like Arsenal was always dangerous. They had two big chances in a row. And we know that the big games are games that are decided in small details, in small margins. Overall, it was a good performance, and we're very happy that we could get these 3 points that put us in a position where, if we win the game in hand, we're on the same points.
Yeah, and you knew it was a game you had to win. You played like that today.
For sure, because if you look at 2 weeks back, this scenario wouldn't be very likely. So for us to have this opportunity at home, we had to take it, we had to go for it, we went for it, and we're just happy. 3 points, not more than that, even though it's a big game, obviously. But now on Wednesday, the three points that we play against Burnley are the same 3 points that we play here, and we need to stay focused because a long way to go.
Bernardo, well played. Your energy and quality were outstanding today. How much do you feel that the experience of doing this many, many times before, how much of an effect does that have in this title running?
Obviously, I play these games in a different way than I played when I first arrived. Luckily, I also had guys like David Silva, like company, like Fernandinho, passed me that experience, that showed me the way to win. And I think to have that mix in the team is always very nice. And right now we have a group of young guys that bring a different thing to the team, a different energy. And today Cherki with the goal, he was unbelievable again. And for us to try and show them the way, it's also nice. And it works as a team, and we're doing well at the moment.
And Erling Haaland, I mean, much has been said about him in the last few weeks, but when a chance drops in a big game, you don't want anyone else in that situation, do you?
For sure. Erling he's been massive for us, and today, once again, not just the goal, but the way he fought for every duel, every ball with Gabriel and Saliba. It's not easy with both centre-backs, they're strong, and he was really good for us today.
Bernardo, I'd like to ask you, this what you've achieved at this football club, the manager and you yourself, do you sense the manager is like brand new, wants to keep going? Because you're 31, everyone's saying it's time to leave. That's not right, surely. I played to 38. Why are you leaving the party?
That was my decision. I took a decision. The manager decision, it's his decision. I don't know what he's going to do. For me, it felt like it was the right time to also give some space to these young guys. And it was just amazing. My time here, it was amazing. Now I have 6 weeks to enjoy, to give everything for this club, to end on a good note with trophies, hopefully.
There's no problem with your energy levels because you were the last man at one stage.
Yeah.
We're just about getting the clear. How did you find yourself in that situation?
I was surprised my defender left me alone there. So, but yeah, I tried my best and I was happily I could clear the ball.
What does it do to the dressing room? I know you've been down this road before, but you've not come from quite far this behind when people were saying, "Oh, City are out of the title race." What does it do now to the belief? Because it's in your hands for the first time.
Yeah, me personally, I've been in this position for three times, I would say, against Liverpool and against Arsenal in our treble season. And yeah, it feels good when it looks like no one believes in you, and then out of nowhere you have a chance again. Now we're in that position, but let's say that Arsenal and Man City, they're both in a good position to win, not just us. Because if we win our game in hand, we're level on points. Then it goes to goal difference if no one drops points. I don't think both teams will win both.
Bernardo, does the pressure change now? You can now win a treble. Do you see that as pressure?
He's trying it, Bernardo. He's trying it.
The pressure to perform well at the highest level, like you know, because you played at the highest level, is always there. Always there.
Every day.
Every day, every season. So that doesn't change now.
Right, Martin, that's enough of the mind games. Leave it there, Bernardo. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. Congratulations today. That is the Manchester City. Yeah, Arsenal have to bounce back after the defeat here at the Etihad Stadium. We've made a quick change to the left side of our back four, and Martin Keown has been replaced by Julian Lescott, who's grinning a lot more than Martin, understandably, double Premier League winner. I mean, you've witnessed some fantastic atmospheres in this stadium. Yeah. Both on and off the pitch. I mean, how good was that today? Sensational.
I think they played a massive part in, especially the second half. Me and Addy was right in the mix, and we could hear them, and it was vocal consistently throughout. So, yeah, they can take a lot of credit for the performance, especially in the second half. But I think Man City overall fully deserved to win the game with the chances they created. And they were on the front foot right from the start, weren't they? Yeah, definitely. I even think that up until the goal, they was in charge, and then probably slightly against the run of play. They scored. I think Arsenal just got back into it then, and then obviously to concede such a poor goal from their point of view straight away. I think that gave the ascendancy to Arsenal and gave them a bit of momentum going into half-time, and probably Man City were probably the team that wanted half-time to come, but lately they've been performing in the second half. Where do you see it from here now?
Obviously, looking at the both squad, looking at Man City with the experienced player they still got, like the keeper himself, Donnarumma, Haaland, with the coaching staff. Pep Guardiola has been into this situation maybe 10 times in a row. He knows how to cope with the pressure. He knows how to talk to the players. So where do I see it from here? I think that I can see Man City winning the rest of their games to the end of the season.
Wow. Can you sense a momentum shift, or is it still impossible to call?
Oh, no, you can sense a momentum shift, Dave.
Let's listen to...
We're virtually home and hosed not so long ago, and all of a sudden, in the space of a couple of games, it's upon us. It's back into Manchester City. So quite incredible. You're thinking about Arsenal potentially winning 4 trophies only a few weeks ago, and now it's looking really rocky. Totally flipped. Manchester City on course for maybe a treble. unbelievable how it's turned around.
It certainly has. I'm sure you enjoyed that wherever you were watching. It was always a day of destiny in the title race. Manchester City have done their job. We'll wait and see how pivotal it was. Once again, the Premier League at its absolute finest. Take care. See you soon.